Welcome to the Sapphire Sessions podcast, where we talk about all things luxury, lifestyle, life as woman, and so much more. Chatting with guests, friends, and other pretty cool people. Tune in and come hang out with us for a bit. And now, your host of Sapphire Sessions, Miss Nico Sapphire.
Back, you guys, to another episode of Sapphire Sessions. I'm your host, Nico Sapphire, and today I'm here with another one of my favorite people ever, my Her Campus partner in crime, and our current Her Campus president at Cal Lutheran, Miss Simran Pimenta. How you doing today, Sim?
Oh my God, I'm doing great, Miss Nico. I'm happy to be here officially on the Sapphire Sessions podcast.
I'm so happy to have you on.
Yes, how are you doing today?
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Now that
Doing
you're here,
good?
oh yeah. Absolutely.
I'm blushing.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So, for those of you who don't know, me and my girl Sim here are running Her Campus magazine at CLU. Now, they've got a bunch of chapters all over the world at different universities. So, Sim, as I mentioned, is our president and co-digital marketing and publicity team, and I'm the vice president and the head of the digital marketing and publicity team. We also have our current fabulous co-editors-in-chief as well. Shout out Liv and Gerda. But I think I can speak, for the both of us when I say that Her Campus has just brought so much to our college experience. And that's part of what we'll get into in a little bit today. Now, what we'll also get into in this episode is not only some girl bossing moments coming from two certified girl bosses right here, but also the importance of girl resting, girl sleeping, and of course, girl lying down. Now, I feel like this is an if you know, you know moment. If any of you have seen this meme that I'm referencing here, which I actually found from you.
Yes.
Sim, funny enough.
I love that one. It's too good.
Oh, yeah, classic. All right, well, to start off, let's get into the concept of a girl boss.
Yes.
So, Sim, I want to ask you, what is a girl boss to you?
Oh my God, I love this question. A girl boss to me is just any girl who is just doing something that's going to make her life better, that's going to take her life in the direction that she wants it to be. And I think that's being a girl boss. And I feel like that can mean many different things. But to me, I think that's just doing what's best for you, putting yourself first because you're that girl.
Yeah, I love that.
Boss.
I love that. I really think, I agree. I think it can mean so many different things to each person.
Exactly. It's a mentality, being a girl boss.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
What about you?
Girl boss to me. I mean, kind of, following in your footsteps here. I think somebody who's confident, right? Just following her dreams, secure in herself. Also, respectful and I feel like a leader, creates communities with her people and cherishes her relationships. A lot of times what I think about too, I think in this day and age and stuff, it doesn't always mean she's got to be a CEO all the time, right?
I agree with you.
Not always about kind of that financial success, but, about like who you are, and what you stand for and things like that.
No, I agree with you. I like that answer.
Yeah, that's what I think. So, I mean, kind of going off of that, I think the term girl boss kind of came from social media some time ago. Yeah, definitely. And I think it started out as a term to really describe like successful women and who are successful in a career, right, and things like that. So I actually had noted down here a term that I found of it. So it says a woman who is self-made, successful in her career, ambitious, and, so on and so on.
Yes.
So I wanted to ask you if you think this kind of definition is, still relevant to the term.
Yeah, that's such a good question. I feel like, yes, I feel like this definition is still true. Like definitely someone who's ambitious and, self-made, like that's the OG girl boss. We love her. Right. But I feel like how you just said, like there's so many layers to it. Like it doesn't have to just mean financial or career success. It can be in your personal life, your personal goals with the people that you love and that you surround. You're just like being that good person. I think a girl boss can also be a little bit silly, goofy.
I love it.
I think you could do something. How do I segue into this?
Yeah.
I think you could do something like cut that person out of your life, girl boss move.
Oh, I like that.
Yes, or because they were not serving you good. Yeah. You cut them out, girl boss.
Wow.
You start putting a lot of effort into a relationship because you feel like it needs it, girl boss. You see, like girl boss can mean so many different things. And I think that's how it's evolved, is that you can have girl boss moments outside of work. And I think that's the best part
That's
about
great.
it.
That was beautiful.
Girl
Same.
boss 24/7.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I think it has evolved a lot, kind of since it first came out on social media.
Yes.
Right. And, I feel like you're almost kind of seeing some people sort of go against the traditional definition that was kind of created for this term girl boss, right?
Exactly.
So kind of, exactly like you said, and sort of not always encouraging, all women to always just be so career focused, but prioritize the personal stuff too.
Exactly.
Just like you said, girl boss always.
I think what it used to be was a boss that's a girl, but now I feel like it's just girls doing boss moves all the time.
Yeah, that is so true.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I like it.
That makes sense.
Highlighting all of our boss moves.
Yes, all of our boss moves.
Yeah, I like it. But yeah, I mean, I think that can also kind of get into how realistic really is that. And just, because we shouldn't have to be expected to be girl bosses 24/7.
No, definitely.
Necessarily. I mean, I think what we were getting into before too, I think it can really be up to the individual what it means for them. I think like even something as simple as living up to your own goals and however small they are, in that time in your life. And I need time to girl rest and girl lie down too.
Exactly. You need balance in order to be the best girl boss you can be.
There you go.
And so I think that's super important. And I was actually going to ask you, like, what do you think is the best thing that you do to kind of let yourself relax, kind of get into that mindset and take care of yourself?
What a good
so
question.
You can be the best girl boss you can
I
be.
love that. No, it's definitely, I think kind of like you said, balancing kind of your me time and time to recharge and refuel so you can get up and do all those boss things. I think, gosh, just for me, really, chilling and watching my shows a lot of the time.
Yes.
In between, like I feel like in between everything else I'm doing and just, how quickly everything is going a lot of the times. It's one thing after the other that I've got to do or get done or whatever.
Yeah.
Usually that's my go-to for unwinding. I was just chilling, watching my shows, kind of escaping.
Yeah.
That's why there's certain shows I love to watch that just kind of get me out of my head and watching somebody else's problems, on TV or something. And so that's, I think one of my main ways. I feel like I do that.
I love that.
So.
Love girl laying down.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's my favorite.
Oh, need a t-shirt that says that.
Yeah.
Hashtag girl laying down.
For real, we can make one.
We should make one.
We can make one.
Merch.
Yeah. Yeah.
We stay marketing. Look at that.
Oh my gosh.
Girl bossing.
Wow.
While talking about
in
girl
this
laying
moment,
down.
man.
See, you guys caught a girl boss move right there. That's it. You got it on camera and on mic. Girl boss moves.
Man,
See,
two
we're
in one.
authentic. We're genuine people.
You're right. You're right.
Now you
Yes,
we know our stuff.
Oh my gosh. That is so funny, Sim. You're so right. Speaking facts. Speaking truth here. So what about you? How do you balance girl bossing and girl resting?
Yes. Oh, that's such a good question. I kind of do something similar to you. I don't live on campus, don't worry. I do, but it's okay. I light a candle.
Okay. Yeah.
And we're not supposed to do that on campus.
Oh.
So maybe I shouldn't say that.
It's okay.
But that's okay. I light my little candle. I like to put on like some sort of like stupid show. Like I love the Love Island, Too Hot to Handle. Watch them be crazy.
Exactly.
And I like to just, that also just talking to my other fellow girl bosses. And I think talking to people and just kind of chilling and being yourself and just allowing to let yourself be in the moment and laying down and giving yourself some time to heal.
I like that.
Day.
I like that. We all need that.
The unwinding. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's just a part of being a person is to do that. And it's also part of being a girl boss.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. I feel like you couldn't girl boss without girl resting.
Exactly.
Quote by Nico.
Quote by Nico. Oh my God, I love that.
I feel like that was kind of inspirational.
That was inspirational. Hashtag let's make a book.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Down.
The book of girl bossing. I don't know. It's a working title.
It's in the works, everybody. Don't
don't worry. Don't quote us on anything, but do quote us.
But also don't
in
steal
the book.
it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, don't steal it either. Hashtag trademarked.
Hashtag we need to do that. Yeah.
Yes.
So okay. Gosh, that's so funny. Kind of going off of that, what always comes to mind when we're getting into that kind of thing and talking about that is the infamous monologue. Okay, right, from the Barbie movie. If you haven't seen, highly recommend. Yes. I feel like it is a girl boss staple now. Is it?
It is.
Not, right?
It's part of the requirement. It's the required readings, guys.
Okay. So we just made it. So everybody do your homework. So the infamous monologue by from Miss America Ferrera.
Yes.
And just referencing, I feel like the expectations that society puts on women, and I think just kind of that scene, and she was saying all these contradictory statements, like you can't be this, but you have to be that, right?
Yes.
And some of the things kind of speaking to women, like you have to be thin, but you can't be too thin, right?
Yes.
Or, you have to, have money, right?
Yeah.
Be wealthy, but you can't brag about it.
Exactly.
And I think, it was so moving and powerful, and but also I think really spoke to just the reality of people's assumptions and kind of the unrealistic expectations I think that people put on women.
Exactly. And whenever I think of this, I just get like speechless because I just remember everything she said and how it really like struck a chord with everybody, or like all the women watching. And it reminds me of something from, I'm a big Taylor Swift fan, and in her documentary, she gives a similar speech about how, about body image for women. And in that, the bottom line of that is, to be a woman is like to never be enough.
Okay.
And I think that's kind of the essence of that speech, is just like, you could do everything right, but you could still be doing something wrong. Okay. And it's like, you're never like you have to always be on this like balance beam, and you can never go one way or the other. Like you just have to fit in this like certain box, and you can't do it all at once. It's just not realistic to achieve all those things at once. That's just not humanly possible. And to have that pressure, I think, makes it really hard to be a woman. And I think that's kind of the opposite of girlbossing, because girlbossing is about empowering women to do what they want to do for them, and not for society.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What were your thoughts on that, and what did you feel about that speech and everything with that movie too in general?
I wasn't expecting that. I think just kind of the whole movie in itself, I think I was telling you too, I didn't really know what it was going to be about at all, and even my mom too, when we were talking about it, seeing the trailers, we kind of thought it was like a kid's movie or something like that, about the toys and whatever. Okay. But totally different than, what we expected. And, oh my God. I loved it. Yes. I didn't think I would. Yeah. Not really knowing what it was about at first either. And I think it really hit, and I think for so many women too. Yes. But just it felt like, and I think it probably, not the only one saying this here, but just I felt really seen. Yeah. In that. And it was just kind of cool to see that reflected and represented in the movie, and just kind of knowing that was the message that they were sending to, and hopefully get more people to understand that kind of thing. And that it's just unrealistic, all the pressure and the expectations that people put on women, and that kind of idea and those ideals are still sort of out there. So it was nice to see that sort of being refuted, right, in the movie. And it was just also I loved the way that they kind of like the delivery and the execution, it was so funny, It
was hilarious.
Oh my gosh, there was so much like comedic relief in it too, because a lot of that was it was heavy, some of the topics and the struggles of the women, and it's a lot of stuff that women deal with all the time. Exactly. But I loved how they delivered it, just so it's just so funny and comedically and it was hilarious. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I love all the quotes from that movie.
Yeah.
Like, you are enough.
Yeah.
I hope you know that.
Thank you. Thank you, Sim. Oh, so iconic.
But there's so many fun. And I think even though there were those moments, especially towards the end, it's really sad. Yeah. But in a general sense, for the entirety of the movie though, they never kept you in the dark for too long. There was always something funny, even when something sad happened, even with the Mojo Dojo Casa House. At first I was like, no, and I was so but they made it funny, and I think I think that's what's good. And it was so relatable with all the stuff that guys do. Right. Oh my God. Right. Oh no.
Right.
If you know, you know. That's another if you know, you know moment.
So many. Yes. Oh gosh, exactly. Man, really relatable too. Yes. That's another thing. And I think, a lot of girls and women, it's something I think that most people can take from that movie. Exactly. And like I said too, just speaks to the reality that we're in. But, I don't know. It's a nice, in a funny way to sort of deliver that message. Because, you see stuff like either other women activists or stuff like that trying to say the same things. Yeah. But it was just so fun to see it in the way that the Barbie movie portrayed it and highlighted all that.
Because it is Barbie. We all grew up with Barbie. Right. Our moms grew up with Barbie.
Totally.
It's been there. And so I think that's what really made it all connected is because like we all have that kind of, even if you didn't play Barbie for that long, like you all probably owned a Barbie at some point. And so you kind of have that like already that connection. And then there's this movie and it does it in such a fun way.
I know. Absolutely. Exactly. God, that had to have been like movie of the summer this year.
Yes,
I think.
It was.
You know what I mean?
Movie of the year, maybe even.
Yeah.
I think it really brought back cinema in a way too.
Yeah. No, because I was saying too, even like we didn't know really what it was about. And then I had a friend that had like, she had her birthday party and she had kind of done that as part of it, celebrating. And we all were like with her family too. And we watched the movie together. So we initially weren't planning on watching it in the theater until, we had a reason to for my friend's birthday. And God, it was so fun. I mean, I loved, because also when my mom and I were talking about it, and a lot of times nowadays too, we're like, we'll just wait till it's on the streaming thing, but I think this one was so much better seeing it in the theater. For me too, I'm usually not one to rewatch movies, but I'm like, I totally would have seen that again.
Oh, yes.
I didn't yet, but I totally would. So
round 2, the Barbie movie. See, that's a girl boss move. The Barbie movie saved the economy a little bit. So
you're right.
That's its own Barbie girl boss.
Oh my God. So. Barbie girl boss.
Yes.
Man. It really is. Well, speaking of empowering here, so I did, of course, want to get into a little bit of her campus adventures here and all the things we do, and just empowering our women on campus. I mean, I feel like our chapters where the girl bosses, they go to shine.
Yes,
right?
They do get to glitter. Jewels.
Yes, I love that. So Sim, if you want to get into a little bit as our president, what we do in her campus, just all together, and you can talk about also your story kind of coming into her campus. Of course. So,
What I love about her campus, our digital magazine made by women for women, is that it is that. And it's not only just a place where you get to create content on, our social medias, or, if you're a writer, or you get to like edit or produce the content, but it's also just a place to meet women on campus and gain community, which is something that I think is so important for both the college experience and also just in life in general, to have these like long-term, genuine connections with people, and of all groups and backgrounds and everything like that and in between. And what kind of got me into it actually is I knew women that were in the club prior, and we just come out of the pandemic. So I didn't know anyone really for real, just a couple people in classes and stuff, but it wasn't like I'd seen anyone. And so I was like, I need to get involved. And I saw her campus, and it was one of the major clubs, and I saw the girlies, and I was like, I think this is going to be the place for me. And the feed was beautiful, I just have to say. It was so good, which was made by our very own Jess, I think at the time.
Yes.
And so I was just like, this is the place for me, because I was like, I love to get to know people. I love to get to see what people like to do, what they're into. It's kind of how I met you. Yeah. And I'm like, this brought us together, guys.
I know.
Which is crazy.
Yes, it did. Yeah.
And that's kind of how I got involved. And I was sisterhood at first. So that was kind of just very community based. And I was so into that. And I loved planning things and having themed parties and all that sort of jazz. And then, as things would happen, I became vice president, and then I assumed the presidency. And I have a lovely wing woman. I love Lisa with me, and Nico is great. And so I want you to kind of get into your side too, because you're my little senior here in this, because you were here longer. You came in fresh. Right. You came in during the pandemic.
I think I kind of am the main OG now.
You are the main OG.
Oh my God, we've got so many graduated, and kind of some that are kind of all over now. But oh my goodness. So it's funny. You mentioned Jess.
Yes.
So she's our main social media girl currently abroad, but she's still with us always.
Yes,
but
always.
so it's crazy how it all happened. So coming in, and we were super online, still kind of in the beginning and doing our classes. I think it was the summer before we started, actually, our very first semester, I believe. And so Jess and I had actually connected the beginning of that year or something, kind of like in the spring and stuff, kind of, before coming into CLU. And it was right before the semester started. She had found this thing online called Her Campus, and she was kind of seeing some stuff about it, probably, on social media, and we were just on the phone one day, and she called me up, and she was like, hey, you gonna apply for this thing? And I'm like, oh, like, what's that? So she told me a little bit about it. And so I remember it was like, oh gosh, a night or two before we started classes. And so I was on, my computers kind of applying and doing that and looking more into it. And it seemed really cool. They got the social media stuff. And, at first I didn't know exactly where I was going yet. I wasn't exposed to as much in the industry, in the field within comm and all the different things, how much more expanded like marketing is and all that stuff. And so, I saw like social media stuff and I was like, okay, cool. So I put my name on there and for the teams and everything. And it was crazy because I don't think you were there yet, because we were doing all these big meetings that we were doing them all on Zoom.
Yeah.
Still.
Everything was digital and online on Zoom.
Yeah. And so we were doing, we started meetings and stuff. And I mean, really, I think then too, I know, coming back in person, I don't think about it as much, but I think I realized like even just having that little break where we had a Zoom call that wasn't a class and that was just kind of for a bunch of girls to meet. And, we had one of our previous presidents, Sophie at the time too, she was leading all those. And, so she just kind of talked about what her campus is and sort of what all the teams were doing. And, she had talked about what you like the usual plans that things they would usually do in person and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it sounded so exciting and I knew Jess coming in too, so it was kind of fun. We could kind of come in and experience it together. It was a little harder to meet some other girls online, but and I think Jess and I too, we were just so excited like to have something coming into college. Since it was such a different experience, coming in online and things like that. But yeah, and fast forward a little bit, I think Sophia kind of saw how excited and passionate, Jess and I were, especially. And then I remember it was her encouraging the two of us to apply. They had a couple of the positions open, a couple of the exec positions open. And so we'd applied for those. And funny enough, I applied for social media at first, and she had applied for marketing. Remember I told you that? And
you did tell me that.
Sophia kind of talked to us, and she was talking to me, and she was saying, I think you'd be perfect for marketing. So we kind of did a little swap, Jess and I.
She's so right about that.
And because Jess has been doing a fantastic job with the social media, and so and ever since then. So I think once we like immediately when we got back in person, I was already leading meetings. I think when we were still kind of online towards the end of a semester, I was starting to do some stuff like that and get some experience with that. Really coming back in person, and I was already in the position and stuff, and it was so exciting and just something to like get me excited when we couldn't go out that much and do things like that and meet people that way. But it was great. So ever since then, I've been, in charge of the marketing and publicity team and just doing more and more. And then finally, when we could get back in person, it was amazing doing more stuff. And then, doing the little live stream interviews, celebrate our Women's Month, and then doing our big International Women's Day event in person when we could again. And, then you had already been there for a while. And, and so now, gosh, so many things we've had so many exec changes, but it's so fun. And now here we are, senior year, and we're running the whole damn thing. And you and me.
Doing a good job.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I know.
It's crazy how long it's been. This is our this is your fourth year, my third year of being in it, which is crazy. But that first year, that was we technically did everything together for the first time, all the events, because they were in person.
Right.
And so we met each other at the welcome banquet that we have and all that stuff. And it's super fun. And, so many good memories from those too.
I know.
Y'all should see me and Nico on karaoke. That's a moment for the ages.
Oh man. I mean, whenever there's an opportunity, you will find us.
Yes.
Singing either some Backstreet Boys or honestly, who knows what. We can honestly sing Dance the Night Away at this next one. Oh, that's a good one. Okay, it's on
the bulletin board.
Girl boss
move right there. See, that's a girl boss move, guys.
I know.
Love to see it.
No, it's crazy though to think about. How far we've come, and her campus, just that, alone, and
come a long way.
Insane how times have gone and how things have been evolving, and so many exciting things that we're doing, I think in the club, and because I think for us, and aside from leading the magazine together, we also want to inspire like the incoming classes, right, definitely, and create this community of sisters, as you mentioned, so they can continue the legacy, hopefully at CLU. I mean, soon we'll have to start as our last year in her campus, and start finding some some new girlies to fill those spots. Yeah. But so I wanted to ask you, you know, how do you think we best inspire the girls that are part of the magazine in becoming their own girl bosses?
Oh, wow. I love that question so much. I keep saying that, but it's true.
I mean, it like, you know, it's home.
Yes, it is. I feel like the way I've inspired these girlies to kind of be their own girl boss is just to kind of always be yourself. I think never fake who you are. I like to crack my jokes. I like to be silly old me. And I think just being your girl boss in your way, like there's not just one definition to girl boss, like we kind of already went over. Exactly. And just like to be yourself, to like open yourself up to the people around you and make those efforts to get to know the girlies around you, your fellow girl bosses, because that's what makes you the best girl boss, is to have your fellow girl bosses by your side. And so I think that's what I'm trying to inspire, is to show that this is the community I've made and you have the power to do that too. I'm handing the torch to you to do that.
I love that.
Yeah, in your own way.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. I think, you know, for me too, it's so fun just kind of leading the teams and all of that, and kind of, you know, trying to share what I know in the marketing world, if you will, and also kind of creating that community too. I love that, because I have gotten so much out of this club, you know, and out of this community of girls. And so just kind of leaving that lasting legacy, I guess, if you will, you know, and lasting community there, and sharing that with everybody else. And God, I mean, I don't know. I don't think I could say it better than you did. No, you did such a good job. But the best thing about this club is like you could see anyone that's been in the club before, and then you were there at the same time, you could say hi to them. And I think that's great, because not everyone has that. And I think this is the place to do that. And obviously, like you said, you learn a lot from this as well, in both the career side of it as well. And you could use that knowledge in your job in the future, which is great. Yeah. And it's fun to do, which is the best part. I know. Man, I mean, you'd be killing it out here as our prezi. Come on.
Yes, I love being prezi.
You're killing it. You're killing it, man. Oh my gosh. So with that too, I mean, do you think we do a good job in doing that and inspiring the girls to just kind of be their own girl bosses, if you will?
I think we do. I think everyone has the girl boss inside them. And I love watching people grow. And we just had our involvement fair. And so we got to meet Yellow Club Fair, saw all the new lot of freshman girls. And I see them and I'm like, I was just like you. And they all are so enthusiastic, all super excited. And I know that they're going to like grow to be these amazing, cool people, because they already are. And I think that's the best part, is I can see that in them, and they're all different. And I think that's the best part, is they're different.
I know.
I think I love when everyone's not the same person and brings their own personality to the table. Yeah.
We have got so many kinds of girls in our club, and and I was going to bring up too as well, when you were kind of mentioning coming into the club and everything, like for you as a STEM major, and I know you've told me several times too, it's kind of been your creative outlet, right? Because I think in classes it's a lot more academically heavy and more focused on that, and so it's kind of where you can get your creative juices flowing. And
exactly. Yeah. I think in my personal field, yes, there's a lot of creativity there as well. And, I get to create a lot of cool stuff there, and that's my passion. But also something that I love is having different types of community, and this is one of the places to do it, because girls come from all different majors. We have our exec board is diverse in its sense of majors, and I think this is just a place where I can have that secondary outlet with the stuff that my major doesn't fulfill. I can kind of have here, which is what I like. And our former president before Hannah was Sophia, and when I first came onto the exec board, we kind of had a whole conversation about that, actually, because she was a crim major, right? And so I kind of told her, I know my major isn't comms or marketing or anything like you would think for some club like this, but I said I have such a high interest and I think I could do something here. And she's like, yeah, exactly. And she brought that up too. She was like, I do crim. This is a secondary creative outlet for me. So that's awesome. That's what I love about it. It's just a second place a second home.
No, I love that. I love it. It's funny because that's kind of what I assume too coming in. I mean, as a comm major myself, I'm like, okay, it's probably going to be, similar majors here, but it's really split.
It is.
I mean, there's a bunch of comm, sure, but a lot of STEM. We've had a bunch of STEM girlies too, and just kind of all different things, outside of those two as well, of course. But it's so fun, and I think because we're all so excited in creating more just content, whatever it is, or, you know, empowering other people on campus and spreading the word about our club, you know, because I think we're all working towards the same thing, but we're just having such a good time doing it too. I mean, everybody does such a good job in what they're doing in our club.
Exactly.
You know? So
multifaceted queens.
Exactly.
Is what we have here.
Exactly.
Which is what I love to see.
Well, that's a pretty good transition, I think, into our next segment here. So I have a little game segment for us to do in this Girl Boss episode, in the spirit of Girl Bossing. So it's a little game that I put together, and I'm proud to have come up with, called Girl Boss or GIRLTOSS.
Yes. Such a good name.
Thank you.
Such a good name.
Okay, so I have compiled a list of a few, you know, female influencers, like celebrities, kind of, you know, well-known entrepreneurs, if you will.
Yes.
Okay, all from different industries, right? All kind of doing different things. And basically, you know, I'll go through them and I'll mainly ask you what you think.
Yes.
You know, basically, if you think they're a girl boss or a girl toss, just, you know, based on like what they're all about.
Yes.
You know, and yeah, okay. So, first one that we have here, okay, this might be pretty obvious, but I had to include it, okay.
Of course.
Based on our conversation. So we have the founders of her campus itself. Okay, I have to shout out Miss Windsor Hanger Western, Stephanie Kaplan-Lewis, and Annie Wang. Miss Windsor, of course, having the pleasure of interviewing her a couple years back.
Yes, I was about to say, you literally met one of these girl bosses.
Yes, I did, virtually.
But spoiled my answer
yeah.
there, but
right.
girl boss button.
Right.
Hitting it again and again and again.
Yes.
How could I say anything else?
Yeah.
Did you have anything that you wanted to like talk about them? Because you interviewed her. Like,
I know.
You got to know.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's so amazing, and just kind of their story, how they literally created this now national thing and collegiate magazine, number one women's like collegiate magazine,
it's
you know,
crazy.
mind you, in their dorm rooms. I think that is the funniest part of the whole thing, and you know, the whole story. Yeah. And just, I mean, I don't know. You know, I have to go back to our conversation, you know, but I don't know if they really knew just kind of the lasting impact that it would have, and creating all of these, you know, women-powered, female communities on college campuses.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
I think it's just empowering so many women. That is what we're trying to do on our little level.
Is
that type of energy of just empowering women to continue to pursuing what they want to do, which is create community and, you know, creativity, which is so good.
Absolutely.
The CNC, community and creativity.
Ooh, love it.
CNC. That made sense, yes.
Yeah. Major girl boss points.
Major girl boss points.
Yeah. for the both of us.
And the both of us,
All right. Next one. Totally different.
Yes.
Miss Kim Kardashian.
180. Okay, this one, I thought about this one because I've had a fluctuating opinion on her.
Give it to me.
I think she's a girl boss for sure, who's made some girl toss decisions in her life. That's like my perception on it.
I like it.
And I feel like I mean, I am so entertained by the Kardashians. I can't, we're in their territory as we speak.
I mean, I'm personally more of a, you know, Real Housewives fan.
She's a Real Housewives girl.
But it's okay.
Yes.
Go on.
So I would say, I think obviously, I mean, look at her like career success. She's bossing it everywhere. Yeah. But I think some of her decisions are questionable. So I think I'm maybe leaning towards a toss. But if you do want to hire me later, you're a girl boss. Okay, sorry. And you would do it too for a check.
Oh man. Okay. Good. Yeah. Save there just in case.
Just in case.
You know. Yeah. Okay. No. Very valid answer. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. She even, you know, I know, just comes across this podcast episode.
You never know.
You know?
That's my policy.
Okay. All right. You're right.
I'll let you kind of give your spiel. What do you think?
Yeah.
Of
gosh.
Kim K?
I don't know if I have too much to say here, but I think she's too entitled.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, yes, it's, you know, very obvious success.
Yes.
You know, and just kind of a level that I think maybe most of us would aspire to.
Yeah.
Financially, but I don't know. I don't think she makes for a good boss, you know, and really just kind of the way I described what I think a girl boss is before.
Yeah.
I don't think she fits the criteria, in my opinion.
Oh,
you know,
that's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, you know, you can have the financial stuff, but, you know, if you just got all this entitlement and you know, you don't care about people around you.
Yeah.
Then I don't know.
No, I don't know either. I know she does a lot of legal work and like helps protect people and stuff like that, on that side of things, which I don't know too much about, so I won't speak about it. But other than that, I don't know. From seeing on her reality show, that's a bit more questionable. But we don't need to get into all of that.
Yeah, that's okay. All right, well, next one, we got Alex Cooper, host of the Call Her Daddy podcast. Yes. What do we think, Sim?
Oh, I've listened to Call Her Daddy when it was her and her partner, and they had that whole fallout and stuff. My opinion on Alex Cooper's podcast and her, I don't know. I feel like I would say she's a girl boss because of how far she's come, and I think that's pretty inspirational and cool. But I think I've heard some of her opinions that I disagree with, which is why I think for me it might be a girl toss.
Interesting.
But I do always, but I have to admit, I do listen to her podcast. And I do listen to some of the interviews, so I can't say I don't consume her content.
Okay.
But
yeah. For me, you know, I'm not sure if I've listened to a full episode all the way through. Yeah. You know, kind of mainly, you know, follow her social media stuff. But I think for myself as an aspiring podcaster, I mean, I definitely give her girl boss points for sure. I think in at least some of the clips that I've seen. Yeah. Okay. You know, I in some of the interviews that she's done, you know, with big celebrities, big name celebrities and you know, and things like that. Definitely. I mean, I think it's cool how she's kind of, you know, opening up a space for genuine and I think more authentic conversations with a lot of these well-known people that maybe you wouldn't get that from them, you know, maybe in other kinds of interviews or more like press focused stuff. But I think so many people know her and know her name and her podcast now. And it's cool. You see almost every celebrity, I feel like, I come across and I'm like, I know. That was recent.
She doesn't do interviews.
Okay, so, like, I don't know who she hasn't had on there yet, to be honest.
No, I think you're right.
And so I think that's super cool. She's got a lot going there, you know. And I think some of the, like I said, some of the interview clips that I've seen, it's cool, kind of the you know, types of conversations she gets out of them as well. So definitely giving her some boss points. I'm not sure if I'm familiar with, you know, all of her opinions on other things, but
I think in general sense, she's a girl boss.
Yeah. I give her girl boss points for sure. All right. So next one we got here. This is a bit of a controversial one as of late. Miss Lizzo.
She was my girl boss. I did love her. Her music, come on, it's still on a high playlist. And it's girl boss anthem, and I have to admit, I will continue to still listen to her music. Yeah. But the stuff about her in the news lately is a bit upsetting, I would say. Right. I don't know. It's all allegations, so I don't know what's true and what isn't. Right. But if it is true, or the fact that it's even like a thing, I think is pretty upsetting. And for those of you who don't know, like, basically the TLDR is that, you know, Lizzo is a big inspiration to women about body positivity and loving yourself through every stage. And that's being a girl boss, is loving yourself through every stage. Yeah. And that's a great mentality to have. And, you know, she's kind of like the beacon for that. And during her tour, she kind of shamed her dancers, and even though that is, I think, quite common, especially in these types of industries, to have that type of thing, she's not the type of person you would expect that from, and so I think that's very girl toss of her to do.
Allegedly.
So if it's not true, she's still my girl boss. I do love her, but if it is true, come on, Lizzo.
I know.
Girl toss.
I know.
You were 100% that B until you did that.
I mean, it's crazy because I also feel like you wouldn't expect that coming from her, and just kind of like the messages behind her songs and all the stuff. I mean, you think she stands for, and the meaning within her songs, you know, I mean, they're totally girl boss, you know, and super empowering to all different kinds of people, you know, so it's kind of crazy.
I know.
But yeah, I think a lot of people probably would have that similar answer to you as well. Sim.
Exactly. I'm still streaming Truth Hurts.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, didn't we just do a little dance to About Damn Time? Yeah.
About Damn Time. It's such a good song.
I know. What are you going to do?
I'm surprised she didn't make a song for the Barbie movie. Did she?
Wait, no, she did.
She did.
She totally did. I think it was in the beginning.
Yeah.
You remember? Okay. Yeah.
I was like, wait, she had to admit on that. Like, she is. Okay.
Right.
Anyways.
Yeah. That's okay.
Moving on. It's okay.
All right. Next up, we have got Miley Cyrus.
Love her. I love Miley Cyrus. Ever since she put on the little Hannah Montana wig.
Oh gosh. I mean,
love with her.
She has been here
so good.
Since the beginning of our time.
Yeah, exactly. She's my country girl. She's so beautiful. I love her voice.
Oh my gosh.
And she's done interviews lately, and I'm like, oh,
yeah, she's been doing a lot of promo
she's
stuff.
been doing a lot of promo stuff recently. And I think her songs of late especially are so girl boss. Flowers.
Yeah. I know.
Love that song.
Prime example
of that. And, you know, a lot of her like recent stuff has been, I think, about her parting from her relationship with Liam Hemsworth. And she speaks openly about that, about that, which I think is really brave. And a lot of celebrities don't do that. And so I think she's a big girl boss because she's always been authentically herself. And, you know, I think she's a big inspiration to, you know, making those big girl boss moves. You're wearing a little Nashville shirt. Are you a little Miley?
I am. You're right.
Fan.
Didn't even put the two together. Yeah. Of course I am. Oh my gosh. I've gone through my phases in artists that I've really liked. Yeah. But oh my God, what's so funny, and it feels like forever ago, but when she actually came out with her Bangers album, I was obsessed. It was from then on, yes. And I mean, honestly, for me, it was genuinely the music. Yes. You know, like I really liked it that time. I think it was so like middle school, you know, that was kind of where we were at when she came out with that. And God, I mean, she's gone through so many different phases, you know, performance wise and, you know, other things too, personally as well. But yeah, I mean, I think we've all seen her too, like her whole life and her grow up. And I think, you know, a lot of the messages too, and even more recently that she has in her songs too, really, you know, are just so empowering. They are. I think to not just women, you know, but self-love stuff and
I love it.
All those good things, you know, that I think she stands for. Yeah. So yeah, definitely.
Love to see it. I love her.
Definitely girl boss points from me as well. All right. Well, last up, I had to kind of end with a bang, I feel like, here on this list. We have Tana Mojo.
When I saw this one, all the other ones, I was like, yeah, these are like, you know, well-known girl bosses. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't even think of her. Okay, but I did grow up on her and I still listen to her. I don't know if you watch her or listen to her podcast. No. She has a podcast that's pretty big. It's canceled.
Right.
Tana Mojo.
Okay.
And I
do know
Brooke
that. Yes.
Schofield, I think is her last name.
Okay.
But yeah, I think Tana Mojo, I grew up with her. I think she's done a lot of crazy things. Like, have you remember TanaCon?
Yes.
Do you remember marrying Jake Paul?
Yes. Wow. Oh, it's all coming back now.
It's all flooding back. A lot of the toothbrush story.
Maybe.
I don't know. But if you know, you know. Maybe I'll give you the info later.
Drinking game alert. Totally stole that from Andy Cohen just now. But oh my gosh, I feel like, and we probably should have said that at the beginning, anytime you have heard, if you know, you know. Yes. I feel like we've said that several times now. Dang.
If you take a shot every time I say girl boss, you would be gone by now.
Dang. Okay. Got to remember that for the next episode.
A little bit of a chart, but you should do that before everything. Say like, take a shot, drink while listening. Noted. Girl boss move right there.
Girl boss.
It's been noted.
Girl boss.
But literally 3 shots right there. But yeah, I think to get to my point, I was having a hard time deciding whether or not she's a girl boss or girl toss, which I want to hear your opinion because like, I don't know what you know about her because I feel like she's very in the news always. I feel like in some way or the other.
Know, always on social media.
She's always in social media news. Like, and so I don't know how I feel about her.
From the things that, you know, I've seen and kind of the timeline of her that I've been exposed to, on social media. I mean, I remember discovering her a long time ago too.
Yeah. She's been out there for a while.
Oh, I couldn't even tell you when. Yeah. But, you know, because I think I was also, before kind of getting into more like Netflix shows and whatever, you know, I was big into YouTube for a while.
Yeah.
And so I think she's been doing that for a while. Okay. Yes. And so, you know, just kind of naturally watching other YouTubers and things like that, I would come across her like doing collabs or whatever. Okay. But, so I don't know. I didn't remember exactly when, you know, I came across her or anything, but, and then kind of seeing her now too, you know, it all sort of looked the same to me. You know, I think she sort of has this, you know, like party girl persona.
Yeah.
And I think in some ways, you know, it kind of gives off dumb blonde a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know, I feel like just the way that she comes across in social media, it's not the most positive, I think, messages for women.
I agree with that. She kind of reminds me of like what the Kardashians once were in a way of like, it's entertaining for sure, but it's messy and it's like, it gets annoying at some point. And I wanted to ask you, off the top of your head, how old do you think Tana Mojo is?
Ooh, I don't remember. Is she 20 something?
Yeah, she is 20 something.
Right? Okay.
I thought she was way older. I thought she was in her late 20s now, now. But I think she's like only 2 years older than us. She's 24.
No way.
She's not that older than us. Maybe she's 25 now, but I think she's relatively close in age with us, which I thought is shocking.
Okay, I actually
she's
didn't
lived
know.
a life, I feel
Yeah.
like. And
Holy
I think it's
crap.
because she's from Vegas. She basically was on the internet since she was 16.
Okay, maybe that's.
And so that's probably when we started watching her, is when we were like, what, 13, 14?
Maybe.
And so, or maybe a little before that, maybe, which is crazy to think of the stuff I was watching from her from that age.
I know. And then she was, even then, too, only a few years older.
I think she's a little bit self-aware, though, which I think is good. Like, she's a bit of a dumb blonde, but she says that. And she does. Okay. So I think that she admits to it. And she says, don't do what I do. Okay. And so I think maybe that's good. But I feel like people still maybe want to be party girl like her. So
yeah.
I don't know.
Mixed bag, maybe.
Mixed.
I would have to say probably a girl toss. Yeah, I mean, you know, she's just not my favorite either.
Yeah.
Like I don't actively go to my way to watch her content. I see it everywhere.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I click on it every time though.
Yeah, I think I only see it when I like want to know the tea about something.
Right.
Like if I'm like, oh, they're talking about that, like I want to see. But if it's like something else, like I'm like, I don't care.
Right.
And it's usually like a celebrity name. It's not like she.
Yeah, her involved with somebody else.
It's not just like her own thing. It's like someone else. She was doing something.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yes.
But yeah.
Exactly. Alrighty.
Yes.
We've made our final decision there. Well, that was a fun game.
It was fun.
Yeah.
I love this game. I love the names of your games.
Thank you so much.
Andy Cohen would be proud.
Oh. Man, if only he was listening.
Yes. He should.
As you would say, you never know. But with that, we have talked about many, you know, well-known some girl bosses and some girl tosses here.
Yes.
But I wanted to ask you if you've got any, you know, personal girl bosses in your life that come to mind that you would want to shout out or just highlight here.
Oh my God, my personal girl bosses. One that comes to mind always is my mommy, my mom.
Love
She's
it.
the girl boss. She's been taking care of 2 kids. She's gone back to work now. She works with kids.
Yeah.
She's like a teacher. And I think she's just like the biggest inspiration for me, like for fashion, for like the way I do my makeup, everything. Like I feel like I learned from her. Yep. And I mean, to me, that's a girl boss, someone that you can learn from, someone that's like taught you what you know. And just does everything in the best way possible. And so that's why my mommy. And then
I love that.
Also, thank you. And then also, you know her, Jimena. I think she's a girl boss, and she's honestly career-wise, she's hustling. She's always doing whatever she can. She works on the Echo, actually. Echo. And so I think I look up to her because she's the coolest.
I love that.
I think she's one of my real life girl bosses that I look up to, and she's slaying in Paris right now. So she is girl bossing. So
that's awesome.
Those are my girl bosses.
That's awesome, man.
What about you?
Oh my gosh.
What did you have in mind?
Okay, well, of course, mom.
Yes,
I gotta say.
mommies.
I mean, she's the main girl boss out here. Okay. Same as you. You know, I feel like I am who I am. A big part of me because of her. Yes. You know, and a lot of the times I say that I'm a mini her as well. Sometimes we are. I mean, now you know you've officially met her, so you can probably attest to that a bit.
Love girlies.
Yes. So of course, mom, and gotta shout out grandma too. Oh my God, come on! I mean,
love grandmas.
Even though in her 90s, but like been girl bossing for many decades now.
Yes.
So that too.
That's what we're all living up to.
Yeah. I mean, of course, God, I don't know. There's too many. You know, I can't. You know, but you know, all my girlfriends. Everybody. I love everybody. And honestly, I wanted to shout out my professors too.
Yes.
I mean, I have got some of the most amazing professors and just like you said too, oh my gosh, I learned so much from them. Yeah. I mean, they're just incredible. So
they're great.
Yeah. I mean, just really, I love all the badass women in my life.
One of them's our advisor now.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes, she
For her campus, we have to have a professor be our advisor, and so Roxanne. Yes. She's rocking it.
Oh my God, shout out. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So there's so many. Yeah. But we love all the girl bosses.
We love girl bosses.
Yes,
I heart girl bosses.
As we girl boss.
Another merch shirt.
Yep, there it is. All right, well, I think that is a perfect note to end on here.
Sure.
So I want to thank you guys for listening to yet another episode. And I want to thank my girl Sim for being on Sapphire Sessions today, for girl bossing with me always. And well, today, girl sitting down with me as well.
Yes.
You can all check her out at Simran Pimenta on Instagram, see all the other cool things she does. Any last comments, Sim?
Be the best girl boss you can be. And take a nap if you need it. That's what I'm leaving it off of.
Mic drop.
Mic drop.
Oh, I love it.
We have a little soundboard here. I can do a little... Yes.
Wow.
Celeb moment.
Or
yes.
Love it.
Love it.
Fantastic.
Girl Boss Award of the Year.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Simmy the man, everyone.
Yes.
We will see you guys next time.
Nice chatting with y'all.
Thank you guys for tuning in to the Sapphire Sessions podcast, a production brought to you by the CLU podcasting class. If you have any ideas of more things you'd like to hear Nico talk about or people you'd like her to bring on, be sure to check out our Instagram page at nico.sapphire and feel free to reach out. Anything is welcome. We'll see you next time.